I try to keep things as relevant as possible. So I'm actually going to use last weekend's tournament or last weekend's games as a personal experience that I can share with you guys. This fall, and I talked about it last week, our 16 and 17U group. That's the team that I'm coaching. So that's sophomores and juniors in high school. They're starting to do college exposure camps. And for the sophomores, it's the first time they've ever done a college exposure camp, versus the traditional tournament play or league play. And it's definitely something new for them. We opened up with a 3-game college exposure camp here in New Jersey. And to give you guys an idea of what a college exposure camp even is, it's not a tournament. It's not a league play event. You don't have to win to advance. And teams show up and they just have a certain amount of games. Colleges are paid to be there. They're paid to recruit. They're paid to evaluate all the players in attendance that day. And the games have specific rules that are a little bit different than we're used to. So this past weekend, for instance, we had an hour and 45-minute drop dead time limit. That meant at an hour and 45 minutes, it didn't matter what the score was. It didn't matter the situation. It didn't matter if the home team or the away team was up. At an hour and 45 minute, we stopped the game. Each inning, it was 3 outs or 6 batters. So if you got 3 outs, the inning was over. If not, it was a 6-batter maximum per inning. Let's see, we had pitching rotations. They were posted ahead of time. So, I didn't change the pitching rotation depending on the situation in the game. The pitching rotation was set ahead of time so that college coach knew exactly who was going to be throwing in what inning. And we had free defensive replacements and no batting order restrictions. So free defensive changes throughout the whole game. I could bat 7 guys if I wanted to. I could bat 18 guys if I wanted to. So it was a bit different than what we're used to. And heading into our weekend, I really tried to prep our guys on that atmosphere and what to expect and really what to anticipate going into the weekend. A lot of them have never played in front of college coaches before. A lot of them have never experienced taking infield, outfield with a college coach hitting it to them. And it was much different than what we're used to the previous couple of years. So my biggest piece of advice to them was try to ignore all the circumstances. Ignore the time limit. Ignore the 6-batter maximum per inning. Ignore the college coaches being there. And let's just go out and play really hard. Let's go out there and try to win every single game, whether or not they're keeping score. None of it matters. We're going to play the game the right way, the same way that we're used to playing for the previous couple of years. I think one of the biggest challenges with the recruiting process, and these kids are just starting to get used to it now, and you coaches out there, whether you're coaching T-ball or Little League or middle school, you're coaching players that are eventually going to be in this situation. So they're getting ready to enter the recruiting process, and it's very individualized. So these players are very focused on their own success. They're focused on their own performance, their own statistics, their measurables, their exit velo, their 60 time, their raw velocity. And don't get me wrong, those things matter. They do. They do when you go to a showcase and you have to run a 60. They matter when those metrics are being measured. But I don't like thinking about them or having our players think about them while we're out there playing the game. And the challenge with things being so individualized is you get recruited to be part of a program a year or two down the road where the whole focus is based around team. The whole focus is based around wins and losses and winning championships and playing as long as you can during the season. So there's a gray area there between these players are out there recruiting, or these players are out there showcasing themselves at showcases, at recruiting events, but they're eventually going to be part of a program where the whole focus is based around team. So what can I do to help my team win today? I say this all the time at practice. I probably sound like a broken record. I've said it almost in every podcast so far. Me versus we, right? I have to focus on we over me. And I try to tell my team that every single week, regardless of the situation, regardless of the tournament, we have to focus on what we can do to help that team win that specific day. It's funny because when we take the pressure off ourselves, we focus less about that individual performance and we focus more on doing what we can to help the team win. Those individual numbers take care of themselves. The batting average usually takes care of itself. We take pressure off ourselves. We feel, less pressure to succeed individually and more about what am I doing today to help my team win. I might be having a bad day at the plate, but I'm going to play really hard on defense. I'm going to be that top step player. I'm going to do whatever I can to help my team win this game. After game one of my players looked at me and he said, "Man, coach, it's kind of quiet here today. it's kind of flat. There's not a lot going on. And he was right. And I had told them about that, heading into the weekend. We're not playing for a championship. We're not playing to make the playoffs. We're not playing, to give up a certain amount of runs so we can make sure we get a good seed in the playoffs. We were there to showcase. And, I said to him, you're right, but we still have an opportunity to win a baseball game today. We still have an opportunity to go out there and showcase ourselves and really do whatever we can to just play for our teammates, play hard, and play the game the right way. And, certain things at a showcase event, like getting a bunt down, moving a runner over, driving a guy in, laying out for a pitch, sprinting on and off the field, being a top step player, those are the things that are going to make you stand out and jump off the page to a college coach. So all the things that we've told our guys from 10U, 11U on playing the game the right way will eventually pay off down the road. And that's why I wanted to send this message to you guys today. Our team motto going into game 2, and again, I wanted them to experience it game 1 and experience like the little bit different of an atmosphere. Our team motto was, we're going to win every single inning this game, right? We got an hour and 45 minutes. We might play 3 innings, we might play 7 innings, but we're going to try to win every single inning. And we've found ways to motivate ourselves internally, not using the playoffs or the championship or a trophy or any incentives like that. And we've used terms like all out. We've used terms like compete. We've used terms like win every inning. And for instance, we said all out. Duke last year to our team said, everything we do all season is going to be all out. We're going to go all out for our teammates. We're going to lay out. We're going to steal bases. We're going to dive. We're going to get dirty. We're going to play the game really, really hard. And we're going to do everything we can to go all out on every single pitch. And it turned into our team slogan. And everything, when we broke the huddle, everybody said all out. When we took the field, it was all out. And everything we did was based around that all out mentality. As coaches, we have to figure out what's going to make our team tick. All right? We have to keep them pushing. We have to keep them focused regardless of that situation. Sometimes we got to dig deep and we have to look inside to find out, who are we really made of? What kind of competitiveness do we have as a team? And we have to make sure we have the same energy and the same level of focus every single time we step on the ball field, whether it's practice, whether it's an inter-squad scrimmage, whether it's an exhibition game, whether it's a college showcase camp, or it's a championship game. And the reason I say that is because it's really tough to flip that switch when now all of a sudden you have college coaches there, or now all of a sudden you have a championship on the line, because that's where pressure mounts. That's where guys get nervous and make mistakes because they're playing tight. But if every time we take the field and every single time we're at practice or we're at a scrimmage or, we're on the field, we play the game the same exact way, well, then nothing changes, right? It's not that, oh man, there's 5 coaches here, so now I have to sprint down the first baseline. No, we hold our players accountable and we do that at practice, right? When nobody's looking. It's not, oh, this is just an exhibition game, so the score doesn't really matter. And then 2 weeks later, you're in a championship, and the only thing that matters is winning. So we have to make sure we ingrain that in our players, and we teach our players, the focus, the competitiveness, the finding that, kind of internally, what can we do today that's going to help us down the road and play really, really hard and push one another to win and get out there and win a baseball game. So coaches, my challenge for you all is to push your team at practice, prepare them for the upcoming weeks, right? Look ahead at the schedule and look forward to what you have coming up next weekend. For me, it was a college exposure camp last weekend. This weekend, we're in a big 17U perfect game tournament. So the atmosphere is going to be completely different. So it's my job as a coach to prepare them at practice for that atmosphere, equip them with everything they're going to need to be successful in the upcoming weekend, and really try to find out what makes your team tick. It can be a team phrase, it can be a motto, it can be a slogan, like win every inning, it can be go all out, it can be compete, whatever that team slogan is, and try to ingrain it into your players from the start of the season, at every single practice, and really push them. And, always play the game hard. Always play for one another, and always teach your players to play the game the right way, whether they're playing t-ball, they're playing little league, they're playing middle school, high school, or competitive travel ball, so that every single time they step on the field, nothing changes. They're always out there doing things the right way, playing the game hard, playing the game the right way, and playing it for the right reasons.